There's a hint of pumpkin in the air, and, well, she's dressed for the occasion. I guess it means it's time for the Polk History Center. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio, Jamie Jameson. Wow.
Yeah, we're ready for October. We've got some plans, and we're going to look the occasion.
I dig the outfit.
Thank you.
I mean, see, you could pull that off. I can't. I mean, I wear a bandana on the motorcycle, but that's
do a little
cute.
bow like this. Yeah. So the cheat is that I buy it pre-made like this, so I don't have to tie the bow.
Yeah. See, I'd be like, I have problems tying my shoes.
Oh, that's a bigger conversation, I think.
Hence.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm not much better. Slip-ons are the way to
Exactly.
go. Yeah.
So it's October.
Yeah, time to slip on your Halloween costume and come down to historic Bartow and enjoy some offerings with us.
So what do we got going on?
Well, to kick off the month on October 1st, we are opening back up the Historic Cemetery Tour. So you'll come down to the Polk County History Center, and we'll give you a little primer, background on Bartow's history. And then we walk. It's only about a mile, but you know how a Florida mile can be. We walk about a mile down to the historic Oak Hill Cemetery, where some of the pioneer settlers are buried. That is also listed on the National Register of Historic Places. And we get an opportunity to talk not just Bartow history, but cemetery history, so the funerary arts. So what do the symbols on certain headstones mean, and how have the headstones changed over time? And I'll have even sneak a little bit of science in there, and we talk about mortality rates and how things have changed with the medical revolution.
I think you've been to New Orleans.
I have.
Yeah.
You know what I heard?
Those are the greatest tours ever, the cemetery tours.
They are, and then they've incorporated Nicolas Cage into the tour, because apparently he's already picked out his spot in this historic cemetery. Though.
See, you always got to be relatable to the people and tell great stories.
Nicolas Cage. Everybody can relate to Nicolas Cage.
We got no Nick Cage stories in Polk County.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But that just means he needs to come here. Film a movie.
What else we got going on?
So our Lunch and Learn series for the month of October, I'm very personally invested in and really excited for, is all about the municipalities of Polk County. So if you had to guess, do we have more than or less than 15 cities in Polk County? Bona fide, incorporated, legitimate city.
I know this to be true.
Yes, we have 17.
17, I knew that. There's 17 municipalities, but there are more cities.
Oh my gosh, I'm 200 plus at this point with cities, towns, villages, settlements. So we're going to be talking about the cities. We're going to go A through W, no Z in this one, A through W, so Auburndale through Winter Haven.
Yeah, I had the W. I didn't figure out Auburndale. I'm so sorry.
Bloodhounds.
I've been here since '97. I apologize, and I will not modify my behavior.
And I have learned there are different ways to pronounce Auburndale.
Yeah,
so Auburndale,
You ever read the book Down in Auburndale?
Yeah, Mulberry. Yeah, lots of interesting ways to pronounce things. But we're going to look at some of the developments of those cities, some of the historic moments, and then starting next year, our Lunch and Learn program is going to be all about those heritage towns. So places like Pierce, Brewster, Nichols, our two German settlements. So Fredonia and Florinda were settled by a German immigrant, two different German immigrants, two different stories for both of them too. One stayed through Polk County through World War I. The other did not make it through World War I. He was accused of being a German sympathizer.
Okay.
So we're going to look at all of those heritage towns next year, and it is just fascinating, doesn't even begin to describe how deep these stories have gone and where our history and heritage is, because I think people think it's Lakeland and Bartow, and that's it. That's the only story to tell, and there's so much more to tell.
So much more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to kick that off for Lunch and Learn, and then to wrap up the genealogy speaker series, because that only runs through October, Preston is hosting kind of the, the home edit version of genealogy. So you have all of these materials that you have sourced. Now what do you do to it? How do you make it make sense? How can you leave it in a format that is useful for your descendants, as you go on? So it's kind of the home edit of genealogy. So that's
some reason in my mind, I see him in a black and white suit going, "She's alive!" October.
I feel like that premonition might come true today. But it's really kind of digging into how do you address the skeletons in the closet and kind of a wrap up. So everything that you've learned throughout the year for genealogy speaker series, a really good closing for it. And then we get into the Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. Those of you that have traveled to historic Bartow before know that probably one of the things they're most famous for is the Halloween parade. And the pandemic really did a number on our Halloween spirit here because we weren't allowed to have the Halloween parade.
Nor the trick-or-treaters.
Yep.
Honestly,
I know.
I think that's my favorite day.
Oh, it's the best
Coming
day.
to work that day.
And the kids come through?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So the good news is the 78th annual Halloween parade is returning to Bartow on the Thursday before Halloween. And then the next Friday, before Halloween, they're doing a trick-or-treat trail through historic Bartow, which includes, of course, the historic Polk County Courthouse. So we're excited to see our trick-or-treaters. And, we'll finish out the season, and we promise we won't put up any Christmas decorations until November rolls around. So we're not going to creep on our Christmas decorations.
Yes, but tell the people to put it on their calendars.
Yes.
If they're going to participate in the wreaths, they need to get on the ball. And
we have actually, the Polk County Sheriff's Office is the most prompt participants in the wreath. The very first day we were ready to hand them out, their delegate was there to pick up her wreath. So we love our friends at the Sheriff's Office. But yeah, wreaths are available for pickup right now. You just reach out to the Polk County History Center, call us or email us, and tell us you're interested in decorating a wreath. And I think a lot of people think that you have to be in Bartow to do it. Nope. Davenport participates. Lake Alfred. Alfred always has a beautiful wreath. So anywhere in the county you can participate. And the other thing is, if you are not receiving our newsletters, you want to go ahead and sign up for the newsletter because we are going to be announcing what dates Santa is going to be in his workshop at the Polk County History Center. And it's a magical experience. It's not just a photo with Santa. Your child gets to sit and talk with Santa and look at the naughty and the nice list. And it's Santa. That's all I can say. I know there's Santa, but this is Santa.
And you know what else is in that newsletter?
What?
Because I've seen Tina send it out.
Yes.
The link to this show.
That's right. That's right. So if you miss anything, if you're catching this on PGTV on the regular circuit and you miss something, you can go right on to YouTube. And you can watch the Brian and Jamie Comedy Hour anytime you want.
Well, it's more like 8 minutes.
Yeah, comedy segment.
But if you play it slow.
Put it on slow-mo.
Put it on third speed, we can go 24 minutes.
There we go. So, but that's the great things. We're going into the season. There's a lot going on. So always, check in with us and see what we have going on at the History Center. While you have family in town, anybody that's visiting from out of state, add us to your list. We've got some great things going on.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to come dressed as a turkey next month.
All right, I'll see you then.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Polk County has a rich history and heritage, and the Polk History Center is continuously thinking of new ways to help Polk residents experience that history. The museum's collection includes natural and cultural objects related to the Polk and Greater Central Florida area that represents our history from pre-Columbian to present-day eras. The artifacts on display at the museum represent individuals, cultural groups, and events significant to the region. It's located at 100 East Main Street in Bartow. The History Center is open from 9 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday. You need more information about exhibits, events, anything. Check them out on the web at polkhistorycenter.org or give them a call, 863-534-4386.